Hello, welcome back to the Female Thriving Over 30 podcast. It's Jasmine Foley here, one of your hosts. I was thinking Foley and host at the same time. Jasmine Foley, I'm not holy. And I'm joined today by a very special guest because it's actually your co-host who is in the hot seat today. So we have Soraya.
Hi. Oh my God. This this literally feels like the very first time that we did an interview for the podcast.
Yes, yeah, because I had you on as a guest, like right at the beginning. Yeah. So how
A
does it
year
feel being
ago.
on the other side?
Good, I think. I mean, I have not literally, I was thinking today, it's like, I don't think I've had many interviews this year. It's always been me interviewing someone,
Yeah.
that being here on the podcast or on Instagram. So it feels nice for a change.
Yeah, you're like the guest of honor today, which is nice. And we're going to be talking about your preparations for Miss Great Britain. So can you tell us like briefly, because we'll dig into everything you've been doing, but give us like a brief overview of your journey so far and what you've been doing, what your mission is.
Well, I've been busy. Let's say that.
Always, you're always busy.
Very busy. I was just working on my publicity for portfolio the other day. I was putting all my appearances together and I was like, wow, I've done over 40 appearances this year
Wow.
without counting the interviews that we've done.
Yeah.
And we've done a lot here in the
Yeah.
podcast and a lot on the Be Timeless series side of
Mhm.
things. So I was like, that must be like, I don't know, almost like 100 total appearances if we count those. So as I said, yes, I've been busy. So at the beginning of the year, I started my platform, which is Be Timeless. And most of you that are listening to the podcast are familiar with it because, I mean, if you're one of our regulars, you have seen our bonus episodes where I talk to you all about what the Be Timeless platform is about. And I've been like really enjoying getting to know other women, their stories, and how inspired I ended up after each and every one of those conversations with them, that being our proper interviews here, or the Instagram lives that we did. And I don't know, I just feel like this year I have grown a lot thanks to that,
Yeah.
personally, like internally and all of that. And on the other side as well, I've been raising money for cancer research. This is something that I have been doing for the past 4 years. I'm an ambassador for cancer research, so I've been trying to raise as much money as possible. It's been proven to be a little bit difficult this year compared to previous years. So I decided to do something different and volunteering my time for the events of cancer research, because even though raising money is great, sometimes the events that they put together to raise money, they raise like hundreds of thousands of pounds. They wouldn't be possible unless there is people volunteering there to help run those events. So that's what I decided to do this year. Like, okay, I feel like it's getting really difficult to get people to donate money, even if it's just like £5, or even attend events to raise money. So let's volunteer in my time. And I have been really looking forward to next week because I've been wanting to step on this stage for 3 years, since 2021. So it's getting closer.
I can't believe it's next week. Like as you just said that, I've realised the dates. Yeah, it's actually next week, which seems crazy. And
Mm-hmm.
thinking about as well, since you've been in pageantry, your platform started off being around cancer, didn't it? And skin cancer
Yeah.
specifically. So this is actually perfect, like the perfect pageant for you in terms of what they support, because obviously they have their two chosen charities, one of them being Cancer Research UK.
Mm-hmm.
And then also what you were saying about like all the women you've interviewed. I mean, to me, a queen is somebody who uses their voice but also helps other people be heard. So I think it's incredible what you've been doing. Um, so,
Thank you.
so tell us what drew you to Miss Great Britain?
I remember like Miss Great Britain was the very first pageant that I attended, kind of live out of the pageant that I competed in. And I remember just going into the Athena. The Athena is a place that I had been to many times as a makeup artist for bodybuilding shows. So obviously the view of that I had of the Athena was very different to when I enter those, like the doors open and I enter into the space and I saw the stage. I was like, wow, like this looks unreal. And I'm like, I feel like I want to be on this stage one day. And then watching the competition, seeing the women, seeing then what the ethos is for Miss Great Britain, how much is like women empowerment. And as exactly as you said, one of their charities is cancer research. On that day, I got to talk to Andrea Day, which is the cancer research representative there for Miss Great Britain. And since then, I have been working as an ambassador for cancer research. So I think those were one of my main reasons to want to compete in Miss Great Britain, but as well, seeing how much they support every single one of the finalists, right? I think it's very important to acknowledge that whatever you tag them into, they are going to share it. They are going to give that platform to finalists and not just their queens. So to me, that was very important because, as you said, we are there to not obviously raise awareness for certain things and talking about our platforms, but also help others. And I feel that really tied very well with who I am, you know?
I feel like it's always such a good sign when things like naturally align. I definitely
Mm.
feel that's what happened for me for my latest pageant, and obviously that worked out. So I feel like when things just naturally feel right and align like this, it's always a good thing.
Mhm.
Very good thing. so,
Fingers crossed.
what part of your like prep has been the your favorite bit so far, and how is prep going generally?
Prep is going great. Got my dress rehearsal like 2 weeks ago, so I got to practice with all my outfits. We decided that I had to change some of the shoes, so I had to put those shoes on for the first time, and it's been painful. Like the past few weeks have been painful trying to break them in because I was using different shoes. But I got my routines already. I have all my outfits, all the looks kind of like put together. Just having to do a little bit of more interview prep because of the on stage question part
Mm.
of things that I haven't really done on a pageant yet. Because obviously at international meets we had an on a stage side portion, but it was kind of like a statement. So it
Yeah.
was not like you don't know what question you're gonna be asked.
Yeah.
um so I think like I'm ready. I think it's just the on stage question bit, the one that I need to really like drill down to and just do every single day now until finals. And in terms of like what has been my favorite part of the preparation, I think it has been, as I said before, just doing all those interviews and getting to know that many women, and also women that I knew that I've met, in person, but we had like really brief chats, getting to know them more in depth and seeing like, wow, like why have you never talked about this before? Like you are incredible. So I think for me that has been the best part and the most rewarding.
I definitely feel like there's things when you do interviews like this that you talk about that you never would in a normal scenario,
Yes,
because we're like on the topic of something. Like me and you have probably even had so many conversations that we wouldn't have had if it wasn't for like coming on and having certain topics that we want to talk about.
totally.
Yeah, and it just encourages people to actually be open and share things that sometimes they think no one wants to hear, but actually we all want to hear it. Like we
Hmm.
all need to
Yeah.
know that we're not alone with things. So,
Which is at the end of the day the goal, right? That we wanted to have with this podcast and with the Be Timeless platform is just to start conversations that otherwise no one is talking about it, and then you still feel that kind of like, oh, I'm alone, like you feel isolated because no one else is feeling like you.
yeah,
Whether in the contrary,
yeah,
there is lots of women out there that are feeling exactly the same as you.
yeah, 100%. So, talk to me about your outfits.
Oh my god, I love them all. I love them all. So if you remember from, I don't even know what episode it was, but it was like an episode like in the summer. we were talking about Haley. She owns that
Oh,
dress
yeah.
shop, and she was competing in like 30 days, and she still hadn't had a dress.
Mhm.
And I had already ordered my evening gown, and it was arriving literally like the week after, in June for October. Now, I went to the red carpet ready event that all the finalists were invited to. And I was just going to just try some dresses and create some content. I had like my tripod and everything. I had like an idea of the content that I was going to create, to do some reels and some TikToks. And I put on the first dress. And as soon as it zipped up and I saw myself in it in the mirror, I was hooked. And I was like, don't I look great? like, like I've never felt like this before. Like, what is happening? Like it zips up perfectly. It's not tied. I don't need to take it in. It's perfect length.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So what should I do? Should I get it? So 800 pounds later, I got the dress.
That was the most expensive day out of content creation that you've ever had.
Oh my god. And especially like being like, I was not it was not on my budget. This is not in my budget. What am I gonna do? I was like, it's fine. It's fine. I just feel so good in it. I just need to have it. So I have my evening gown. You're all going to love it. It's so sparkly, like unreal, unreal. It's so sparkly. And then my fashion, my swimsuit as well as a swimsuit for the top 10, not top
Oh,
20
yeah.
beach body, because I
Yes.
made the top 20 beach body. First time that they opened the category, the side awards to the all of the categories.
Yeah.
So I am really excited that I made top 20 and that I get another chance to be in front of the
hmm
judges.
So, yeah, I've got questions about this actually. So, the beach body this year, obviously, it changed and opened up to all categories. Have they picked a top 20 or whatever in every category, or is it a mix? Is it like a mix of everyone?
It's a
Oh,
mix.
okay.
It's a mix. So I believe there were like six Miss, one or two classics, and the rest were Miss.
Wow.
So it's a good mix.
Yeah. So it actually ended up being a lot more Muzz than the Miss, and people
Yeah.
usually associate the beach body, particular like well, not just beach body, but the swimwear round. We naturally
Hmm.
associate that more with the Miss, I think, in most situations. So good job, ladies in the
We
Miss.
are here to show, yeah, to show everybody that, being over 30 doesn't mean that you cannot be
Yeah,
on a swimsuit and you cannot rock the
yeah,
runway, and that you can just like literally get and join a side award and see what happens, and you go and get and you classify, and
yeah,
then let's see what happens on the night.
yeah.
So it's
Amazing.
exciting.
Amazing. Well, I can't wait to see all that. I'm like 100% sure you're going to get loads of behind the scenes, so I'm going to be following over the whole time. Is it 2 days this year, the
Yeah.
competition?
2 days. So Thursday we're starting with rehearsals in the morning. Well, not actually with press in the
Yeah.
morning, like the press, like the photo
Oh,
outside
yeah.
with our sashes and stuff. Then rehearsals. Then during rehearsals, then the classics go first for their interview. Then we are having lunch, and then the Miss starts their interview. Then the Miss, and then at 3, is it 3:30? I don't remember. Like around 3, we break. The judges break for like some like rest and lunch or whatever, and we have to get ready for the Beachbody Award. And then we have like, I think it's just 15 minutes for the Beachbody
Yeah.
round.
Yeah. So
So
how
yeah.
so how do you feel about
How,
interview? Because oh, the cat's trying to get in.
yeah, something happened. Is everyone okay? Okay.
I'm glad.
I'm gonna close the door.
So for interview, this is different to interviews you've done in the past
Oh,
because, yeah,
very.
because obviously I feel like every pageant you've done before has been question and answer, right, in your interview. And
Except for because international Miss was like
oh, yes,
that little statement at the
mhm.
beginning and then question and answer.
Yes, okay,
I've got a little bit of everything.
yeah. So how do you feel about this year? Have you all been told to talk for the full time? Yeah, okay.
Hmm. Yeah. So we have 2 minutes to do our little presentation. 2 minutes is not a
Hmm
lot to try to. get everything in. So it's been quite challenging at the beginning, because when you have so much content to talk about, you start like talking really fast, and then you're like out of breath at the end, and it's like, what do I take out? What do I keep in? So I'm good, I think, with what I have so far. I just hope that what I have prepared is something that is going to catch the judges' attention, and that they are going to want to kind of like know more about me, and are going to be excited to see me on a stage the next day.
Yeah, I feel like one of the hardest thing about that style of interview is remembering everything that you want to say without sounding rehearsed. I feel like there's such a fine
Yeah.
line between knowing everything you want to say and then not sounding like you're
Hmm.
just like trying to remember and getting it all out. So it is an interesting
Yes.
style of competition, but you're a great speaker, so I have no doubt that you'll be able to do it.
Yeah, it's just like, will I manage to do it in the 2 minutes?
Yes, that is the thing. Although I felt like that when I did Miss Great Britain, I felt the same, and I actually ended up like finishing earlier of the time and having time for a question.
Okay.
It must have been the nerves that was just made it all go a little bit
Yeah,
faster than I
probably.
was
Yes.
before.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yeah, because you know what? Like, when I rehearse it by myself, it's
yeah,
fine, right? And then I have Harriet in front
yeah,
of me on a on a
hmm
call, and I go super
hmm
fast. Like, having someone that you need to talk to, I think, gives you that
yeah.
extra pressure, and you're like, oh my god, she's counting down the minutes.
You feel like you're on a
Hurry up,
timer.
hurry up. Which is, in a
Yeah,
way, my fear for the on stage
mhm,
question, because you only have one
yeah,
minute to answer,
yeah,
right? So I'm usually fine with these kind of interviews, like talking, conversation, and just, giving my answer. And usually, probably my answer is going to be less than a
hmm
minute. But when you have that pressure of the
yeah.
timer, that's what I don't know how that's going to go.
There's such like a sweet spot with on stage question as well. I feel like you've got to say enough but then also end at the right time and not keep going. It's just such a like
Yeah.
it's a hard one to navigate. But again, I'm sure
Yeah.
I know you and I know how well prepared you'll be, so I'm sure you'll be fine. You won't be leaving it down to just seeing what happens by chance. I'm sure you'll be ready for whatever's thrown at you.
I mean, this is obviously taking into account that I make it to the top eight.
Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah,
Because we know
yeah,
pageants, right?
yeah,
You never know what's
yeah,
going to happen.
yeah,
So we're hoping for top eight, so I can go to the on
yeah.
stage question and then
Yes.
see what see what happens.
You always have to be prepared. You have to be prepared to go all the way to the end. You've got to.
Yeah.
So, on the first day, is it a party in the evening for the past
Oh yes.
queens?
So we have the Queen
Yeah.
party in the evening at the
hmm
Chutney in Leicester. So we're just all gonna go there and have a little bit of like food and party and time, celebrate the Queen, kind of like do a little stand
hmm
off to the Queens. I don't. I think it's gonna be Maddie's birthday, so I don't know if they
Oh,
will do something for her
yeah.
birthday. Um, and yes, then 10:30 is kind of like the time where we are allowed to
Yeah.
leave. Who knows if we leave at 10:30, 11, or whatever, and then wake up super
Yeah.
early in the morning for hair and makeup for the next
Yeah.
day, and let's do it all
So what's
again.
really nice is you're having your interview and your beach body on the first day, so you can forget about them. So the next day is all just
Hmm.
concentrating on stage, really. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I really
Yeah.
like that, because, as you said, many times, like, you're rehearsing, but you're thinking about your interview and what you're going to say and all of that. So it's good to have that out of the way. So then on the Friday, you can properly concentrate on what you're
Yeah.
doing and polish the
Oh
dance.
yes, the dance. I can't wait to see the dance. I will. I'm going to be
Oh, the
there.
dance is going to be epic.
I will be there on Soraya's table, so I will be there with. I hope. I think we're going to be near the front somewhere. I'll be there watching the dance. I'm excited.
Yeah, I hope
Yeah.
so, because literally, like, the tables at Miss Great Britain are assigned on a first
Yeah.
come, first serve, right? The email with like, the tables are up now, you can pay for them. I was in Central Park, and I had to tell Oliver, like, wait a second, let's find a bench. We need to sit down right now. I need to pay for my tickets. I need to pay for the table. I need to fill in this form. I need to send it because we need to be at the front. So
Oh
fingers
yeah, well if you
crossed.
were that on it, I'm sure. I want to be right there. That'll be my first time sat
Oh,
on a table, so I want to be right there at the front.
I was so fast,
Yeah.
so hopefully, fingers crossed.
So opening number, talking of the dance and everything, do you have a colour scheme? Can you tell us the colour scheme for like our opening number
Mm.
outfit?
Yeah, so yeah, so for the opening number, we're gonna be wearing our fashion
Oh, okay.
outfits. So the Miss is in
Yeah.
white, the Miss are in red, and the classics are in
Oh,
blue.
nice.
So we are all like kind of like the
Yeah.
British flag. So that's what we are going to be
Yeah.
wearing.
Okay. So that means we're going to be seeing you in your fashion first, I assume, then
Hmm.
swim, and then gown. I can't remember what order it's normally in.
Hmm. Yeah, fashion,
Yeah.
swim,
Oh,
gown.
fun.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because obviously, if we're doing
Yeah.
the opening number in our
Yeah.
fashion, I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
they were not gonna make us
I hope
change.
not. So you've quite experienced now in pageantry. You've had many a crown already in your short time that you've been in pageantry. Without giving too much away, because we're not quite there for the final yet, is there anything you've learned that from your previous experiences that's made you prepare differently? Is there anything you're doing differently this time?
I think what I've learned is not to look at the other girls
Yeah.
because on my first year it was different because I had no clue.
Yeah.
Like I had
Yeah.
no idea. But then when I did International Miss, you cannot stop by looking at who else is competing, what are they doing, and sometimes you get in your head without a
Yeah.
need to. So I think that's for sure one of the things that I've learned. Trying to, yeah, I mean, if you see something or whatever, don't read into it. Don't try to make it like get to you. Um, and other than that, no, because I've always every time that I've been on a stage, I'm just doing it for the pictures and the video because I know that I'm gonna have that
Yeah.
forever. So that's been my mojo every time since I step on a stage. So I think I will say not to get too caught up on what other contestants are
I
doing.
completely agree, and I think before I was going to international moves, that was the first time that I've actively not looked too much at anybody else. And although I see some of their stuff coming up or whatever, I just like have said like looked at it and been able to just shut it off in my brain and not think too much
Mm-hmm.
about it. And I
Mm-hmm.
do think it makes a world of difference because you focus on yourself, and then that is what's gonna make the difference. I mean, you've been super
Yeah.
successful up until this point anyway, so you've been doing fine either way.
Yeah. Yeah, but like as we always say with pageants, you never
Hmm.
know, right? Um, we are seeing that like in the big pageants, right? You have the favorites or the girls that you think are gonna place, and
Yeah,
then they don't. Um, these are things that you don't really know what the judges are looking for. You don't know what the organization is looking for. Maybe they change what they are looking for from one year to the next. You don't know what is the brief that has been given to the judges. So it's
yeah.
anybody's game, and I always say that it's anybody's game. You shouldn't underestimate anyone, and you shouldn't believe that you're better than, because you don't know what's going to be the result at the end of
Yeah,
the day.
100%. And I do think there are titles out there for everyone. It's just finding the right one, the right time,
Yeah.
being right place, right time, right judges, doing the right
Hmm.
things.
Hmm.
And it really does. So, yeah, like you say, it really does make all the difference. It can really go anyway.
Hmm.
So, what would be your plans? Have you got plans going forward? So, if you were to win next week, I can't believe it's next week. What's next? What is
Next week,
next?
well, we have the brunch for
Yeah.
cancer research, and still
Hmm.
she rose the next day, right the next day. That is a tradition that I started as international miss, and now you are continuing, which I'm really happy about. And I mean, my ultimate goal has always been trying to unlock women's full potential, trying to like show them, as we always say, being over 30 doesn't mean is the end, that your life slows down. We're still able to accomplish anything that we want. Our dreams and our goals are still valid. So I will want to continue doing this, but obviously with that extra platform that will be provided to me as part of Miss Great Britain. I will want to use this as a platform and ensure that that is made to uplift others and to be able to use my voice for that. um One of the things as well that I've been toying a little bit with the idea is kind of like maybe creating some kind of like foundation for women over 30 to kind of like help them in anything that they're going through in their lives, that being professional or personal, because I believe that there is so many resources out there for younger women, but women over 30 are sometimes very overlooked when it comes to opportunities for personal or professional growth. So that's something that I would really like to hopefully work on. So I'm toying with that
Yeah,
idea a
I
little bit.
absolutely agree 100%. Like, even as somebody who started a business, luckily I managed to get in there and get some a little bit of funding before I turned 30. But actually, most of the criteria is like being under 30, or like Young Women's Trust do loads of
Hmm.
skills development and everything, but only up until a certain age, 20 something. I'm not 100% sure, but that is up to a certain age. And there really is a lack of things that you can access over 30. So I think that's a brilliant idea. I'll be behind you 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that. Because it's true. Like, that means, like, once you reach 30, what you cannot access the same kind of like learning materials or learning opportunities that someone under 30 is able to access. Like, why is that? Why are we still to this point in 2024 still kind of like boxing women that are after like reaching certain age into the you're no longer useful, you are no longer like our money, we won't give you your money to you because you're kind of like worthless. Like,
Yeah.
we're not like, we're, I would say, like, at 30, once you are reaching 30, that's when your life
Hmm.
properly starts, because now you're more wise, you know, you've made the mistakes, and now it's time to actually show, what we are capable of. And I have to say, like, well, we saw it in the previous episode with
Hmm.
Diane,
Yeah.
right? She got a $1 billion business at
Yeah.
60, so why cannot we give women the resources to be able to get to, I mean, hopefully,
Yeah.
yeah, billion
Yeah.
dollar businesses.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, I definitely feel like I got more motivated. I got more of a fire to like succeed as I headed into my 30s than I ever had in my younger years.
Hmm.
And that's when you
Yeah.
want the support to be able to do things. I think some form of like grants or scholarships, even, um, if they could somehow.
Hmm. And even like,
Yeah.
some workshops to show women, because like one of the things that I've in my professional life, right, sometimes you reach certain positions, and because you're younger than someone, you need to prove
Hmm.
yourself more than if you were not younger and if you were
Hmm.
not a
Yeah.
man. So maybe we should give some workshop to women to show them how they need to be like, yeah, I'm going to behave like a man as well. So if they don't need to prove themselves, I don't need to prove
Yeah.
myself either. And I'm not going to feel sorry for doing this or doing that. And I don't need to apologize every time that I send an email that is might be a little bit,
Hmm.
touchy feeling because that person hasn't done the job that they
Hmm.
should have done. So I think we need some of those workshops as well, on how to conduct business and how to
Yeah.
conduct ourselves in business settings and take our power. And as Diane said as well in the previous interview, like, she got rejected
Yeah.
by many
Yeah.
men because they
Hmm.
run the industry, but she didn't give up. So this is what we need to
Yeah.
show women as well: never give up, go for it, don't take no for an answer, and you don't need to prove yourself, you're worth it. If you got there, there is a
Yeah.
reason why you got there.
100%. Said like a true queen, I have to say. I feel like that's such a kind of a nice note to end on. But is there anything else you want to share about your prep? And tell us about the voting, because I need to still do my vote, so I'm going to do that straight after this.
Oh yeah, we have the public vote
Hmm.
coming on right now. So it's on Pageant Planet and everybody is able to vote. I think it's like less than a pound. for a vote. It's just like a side award. It doesn't make any difference. We don't If you win that side award, you don't make it straight away to the top 8 or anything like that. So it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
really count. But yeah, if anybody has some spare change and want to vote for me, I would really appreciate it. As well as if you want to donate for my cancer research fundraising, that would be great. You can go to my Instagram at Soraya Gucci Luth, and there you will be able to see my bio where to donate for the fundraising. Um, Other than that, it's just like now it's just like getting so close to finals. I cannot believe that dream that I had in my mind in 2021 is finally going to come true. There is lots of things that I mean, I've recently done a post about like 2021. I decided that's going to be my next pageant. 2022, beginning of 2022, I got accepted to compete, but then I couldn't. I had to defer my place because I was not sure that I would be able to do the
Mm-hmm.
finals because of the dates that they announced. So I was not able to compete in 2022. The opportunity came to do International Miss. So obviously I took it. That's great. Things happen for a reason, right? And then 2023, I couldn't compete either because there was a change in the directorship, International Miss. They asked me if I wanted to continue my title. And obviously, once I have a title, I give
Mm-hmm.
my everything to it. And as a queen, I will represent that title till the very end, till I have to
Yeah.
crown the new queen. So 2023, I was not able to compete either. 2024, now is the year that we are going to compete. Lots of things have happened since then. Things that, like, more hiccups than I think I've ever had in any prep in my life. And we're managing and we're going to compete. So I am so excited to finally be on that stage. For some reason, I feel the stage is bigger in my head than it actually is in person. So we'll see on Thursday.
It is a good stage. I do like the stage. That's why I want to be right near the front so I can see all the action. But honestly, like, even
Yeah.
just, I feel like timing is everything, and I feel like as much as you were an amazing person from the beginning, I do think you've grown a lot over that time, and I've been honoured to be a part of it and see it and everything as well. And even just other things that you've gone through, although you've had difficult things you've had to deal with as well, the way you've dealt with them and the way you're pushing through it and the messages and the gift you can share with people is even more special. So yeah, I'm excited to see.
Yeah. I mean, like some of the things that happened, like I shared um,
Mm-hmm.
with some people, and they were like, I would have never known because of your post. And I'm like, because I want I will
Yeah.
share all of
Mm-hmm.
these at some point. But right now, I'm choosing to be positive. I'm choosing to be, like that things like we need to look at the positive side of things, because otherwise we will be depressed and not being able to move out of bed or anything like that. And we need to think that, as we said, everything happens for a reason. Um, and we just need to smile through the challenges, because they are only
Yeah.
making us stronger. They're teaching us lessons
Yeah.
and they're helping us grow.
100%. So, is there any? I feel like I already asked you. Is there anything you want to leave
Yeah.
us with? But is there anything else you want to say before we go?
Um, no, just make sure that you're following the Miss Great Britain Instagram, so you can watch the live stream if you're not going to watch,
Yeah.
and that you like cheer for me in the background and in the comments. Because even though I won't be seeing it, I am for sure going to be feeling it. And there is nothing better than being on a stage and feeling the love, because that just makes you even more confident and more excited to be there. So yeah, leave your comments, watch it, because I
Yes,
will
and I
definitely
will
feel it.
try my best to do some like behind the scenes and updates on the podcast Instagram
Yeah.
whilst I'm there, because I'll be there watching and I will be screaming very loudly for you, so you're going to hear that. Well, definitely going to hear me. But that's it for today, and thank you so much everybody for listening. Make sure you're following us on Instagram and on TikTok, and that you engage with us as well. Message us, tell us what you'd like to hear from the podcast. We love to hear your suggestions, and we want you to all feel a part of it as well. So please do interact with us and let us know, and make sure you are cheering Soraya on for Miss Great Britain.
Yay! And don't forget to follow us on TikTok. Like, we are now
Yes,
100 followers. So it's slowly growing.
yes,
So go on
yes,
TikTok, and watch all
yes.
our videos in there. We need
We
to make
do.
more fun
Yes,
ones
we
of
do.
us
That will be
together.
the mission after the finals. We'll both have some time and we'll do that for
Yeah.
everyone as well.
Yes.
All right. See you soon, everybody. Bye. Bye.
Bye.